Yes, good afternoon, all of you, and welcome back to the online session of microprocessors and microcontrollers class. In today's class, what we will do is we'll discuss the next category of instructions, that is string manipulation instructions. Okay. So from the last few classes, we have been discussing about the instruction set of micro 8086 microprocessor. In that, we completed three categories of instructions, that is data transfer instructions, arithmetic instructions, and logical instructions. Okay. So the next category of instructions is string manipulation instructions. That means the instructions that are used to manipulate, that means that are used to operate on strings. So first, what you have to understand, what do you mean by a string? See, a string is nothing but a word. Okay, suppose let us say CRR. Okay, let us say CRR. Okay, so this is a string, right? Similarly, engineering is a string. Similarly, comparison is a string, right? So a string is nothing but a word, okay, which will have different characters inside it, right? So that is nothing but string. Okay, when you need to do string operations, when you need to do string operations using microprocessor 8086 microprocessor, we have to use these set of instructions, right? When you are using 8086 microprocessor and when you need to do some string operations, then we need to use these string manipulation instructions. Okay, so the different instructions that 8086 microprocessor supports is, first, let us understand what is a string and what are different things that you have to understand before actually understanding the string manipulation instructions. Let's see. So string is nothing but a sequence of bytes or words. Okay, a sequence of bytes or words is nothing but a string, right? So 8086 instruction set includes instruction for string movement, comparison, scan, load, and store. Okay, so these are all the operations that are supported by 8086 microprocessor, right? So for string operations itself, okay, for string operations, the 8086 microprocessor supports these operations. That means we can move a string from one register to another register or from one memory location to another memory location. That is, movement of strings can be done. Similarly, comparison between two strings can be done, and scanning of strings, loading of strings, and storing of strings. Okay, so these are all the operations that could be supported by the 8086 microprocessor. Okay, now, right? So repeat. REP means what? Repeat. Repeat instruction prefix. Okay. So this is the instruction used for every string instruction. Used to repeat the execution of a string instruction. Okay. So this is the instruction used as a prefix for every string instruction, and it is used to repeat the execution of string instructions. Okay. Right. And similarly, string instructions end with either S or SB or SW. Okay. String instructions end with either S, SB or SW. Okay. So S means what? S means what? String. SB means what? String byte. And SW means what? String word. S means what? String. SB means string byte. And SW means string word. Okay. So string instructions always start with REP as a prefix, and string instructions always end with either S or SB or SW. S means string, SB means string byte, and SW means what? String word. That means some strings occupies only byte, only one byte. Some strings may be of word type. Okay, that means byte means 8 bits and word means 16 bits. Okay, so depending upon the length of the string and size of the string, we use either S or SB or SW. Okay, that is the meaning of ending the string instructions with S or SB or SW, right? So the next point to be remembered is offset or effective address of the source operand is stored in SI register, and that of the destination operand is stored in that of DI register. Suppose when you are using two registers or when you are using two memory locations, you have to always remember that the offset address is always stored. The offset address of the source operand, the offset address of the source operand is stored in the SI register, and the of the destination operand is stored in the DA register. That means for string operations, whatever the instructions that you are using, okay, the offset address and the effective address of either source operand or the destination operand. Okay, the offset address of the source operand will be stored in the SI register, which is source indexed register, and the destination operand offset address will be stored in the DA register, which is destination index address register. Okay. So depending upon the status, the next point is what? Depending upon the status of DF. DF means what? Direction flag. Depending upon the status of direction flag, SI and DA registers are automatically updated. Okay, depending upon the status of direction flag. So now you have to understand the importance of direction flag in the string instructions. What is the importance of direction flag in the string instructions? The importance of direction flag is that when the direction flag is 1, see, when the direction flag value is 0, there is two possibilities. Direction flag, okay. Direction flag is equal to either 0 or 1. 0 or 1. So what is the importance of direction flag here? Suppose let us say we have a string called CRR. We have a string called CRR. Okay. So for every character, okay, C is a character, R is a character, and R is also another character. See, C, R are the alphabets that can be understood by us, but the machine, which is the microprocessor, cannot understand this. Okay. So only 8086 microprocessor or any other machine can understand only either ASCII language of the characters. Okay, so for every character we have a ASCII code. For R we have an ASCII code. For C we have an ASCII code. For R we have an ASCII code. Okay, so for every character we have a ASCII code. Okay, so each and every character's ASCII code will be stored in a different address location. Suppose R's ASCII code is stored in one location. Another R's ASCII code is stored in another location. Okay, and C's ASCII code is stored in this. Okay, so this is the starting address and this is the ending address of the string. Okay, if CRR is the string, then CRR starts with C and C's ASCII code stored in the this location. Okay, and R's ASCII code is stored in the this location, and this another R's ASCII code is stored in this location. Okay, so when you need to access this CRR, you need to access this entire three address locations, starting from here to here, Okay, so what is the importance of direction flag in this operation? Okay, in string operations, what is the importance of direction flag? So direction flag decides the direction of the address locations. Suppose this is 1000. Let us say the starting address is 1000. Okay, 1000 H. Okay, so we have to increment this address location by another two locations in order to access this entire string called CRR. Okay, in order to access this entire string CRR, this 1000 location has to be incremented by 2, okay. So in order to provide auto incremented operation, the direction flag has to be 0. The direction flag has to be what? 0. Okay. When the direction flag is 0, then this address locations will be auto incremented. That means they start from lowest address and move on to the highest address. That is auto incremented operation. So that is possible when the DF flag is equal to 0. When the DF flag is equal to 1, we have auto decremented operation. That means this is 1003 location, 1003 location, 1002 location, sorry. So starting from 1002 location, the address gets decremented. Okay. So the execution of the memory locations are starting from higher address to the lower address. That means auto decrement operation. Okay. So some strings need auto incremented operation, some strings need auto decrement operation. Okay. So that auto increment and decrement operations will be decided by the direction flag. Decided by the direction flag here. Okay. So that is the importance of direction flag. Hope the importance of direction flag is understood. Okay. The direction flag decides the auto increment and auto decrement operations. Okay. And as I told you, the previous one, see here, the source operand is stored in the SI register and the destination operand is stored in the DI register. That means this starting address 1000 is there, na? This 1000 will be stored in the SI register. Okay. So suppose if you want to move this character or string to any other location, let us say 2000. The location is 2000. Okay. Here the source is at 1000 location and we want to move that to 2000 location. Now the source address, which is 1000, is stored in the SI register. The destination address is what? 2000H. Okay. This 2000H is stored in the destination register, destination index register. Okay. So this is stored in destination index register and this is stored in the source index register, which is the source operand. This is the source operand and this is called what? Destination operand. Okay. Hope the point is clear now, right? So depending upon the status of direction flag, that is whether DF is 0 or DF is 1, the SI and DI registers are automatically updated. Updation means what? Either auto increment operation or auto decrement operation, right? If DF is 0, the auto increment operation will be taken place. Okay. Auto increment operation will be taken place. That you have to remember. Okay. If DF is 1, auto decrement operation will take place. Okay. Hope the point is clear. See, the points are given here. If DF is equal to 0, SI and DI are incremented by 1 for byte and 2 for word. Okay. So here you can see a difference here. Incrementation and decrementation is done differently for byte and word. Okay. For byte, the incrementation will be done by 1. Okay. For byte it is 1. For word it is 2. For byte it is 1 and for word it is 2. Why? Okay, let us take clarity on this point, right? See, why byte? See, any memory location that you take, suppose this is a memory location. Any memory location can handle only 8 bits, Okay, so that is the reason why for byte the incremented will be 1, and for word the incrementation will be done by 2. Okay, and similarly if df is equal to 1, si and di are decremented by 1 for byte, and it is for word it is 2. Okay, that is the thing here, right? So now what we'll do is, after having clarity regarding these basics regarding the string instructions, we will now proceed to the different string instructions that are supported by the 8086 microprocessor. Okay. Just a minute. Let me clear all this. Right. Right. The first string instruction is repeat. Repeat. Okay. So this is a prefix for every string instruction that we use. Okay. So repeat. And this instruction could be used in two different ways. That is, repeat on 0, repeat on 0, and repeat on non-zero. Repeat on 0 and repeat on non-zero. See here. REP means what? Repeat on 0. Okay. Repeat on empty. E means what? Empty. Okay. So, and the next format is repeat on non-zero and repeat on non-empty. Repeat on non-empty. Okay. So here the slide was made wrong. See. Okay. Okay. So what does this instruction do? This instruction repeats the process until the counter register gets emptied. Okay. So that is the reason why in both the cases the counter register is not equal to 0. The counter register is not equal to 0. You have to keep this point in mind. That means when you are using a repeat instruction means the counter register should not be equal to 0. Okay. So this repeat instruction repeats the execution until the counter register gets equal to 0. That is the importance of a repeat instruction. And this repeat instruction can be done in two different ways. That is, repeat on 0 and repeat on non-zero. That means when the flag 0 flag is equal to 0, when the 0 flag value is equal to 0, then a repeat execution of string instruction is done. Repeat execution of string instruction is done. Okay. For one time, the CX register will be auto decremented. Okay, right? So this is repeat on 0. That means when the 0 flag value is equal to 0, then the repetition operation takes place. That means we are using some condition here. Right? Similarly, repeat on non-zero. Repeat on non-zero means what? When the 0 flag is not equal to 0. That means when the 0 flag is equal to 1, then repeat execution of string instruction takes place. And after every single execution, the CX register will get decremented. Okay. So this repeat operation takes place in loop. Okay, this repeat operation takes place in loop until the CX register value, okay, the CH register value is equal to 0. Okay. Once the CH register value is equal to 0, this repeat instruction will be stop executing. Okay. The repeat instruction stops executing. Okay. That is the meaning of repeat instruction. Hope the point is clear now. Let us proceed to the next instruction. The next instruction is move string. Okay. Move S. Move S means what? Move string. See. Move S. Move S. Move S means what? Move string. Okay. So string can be a single byte or a word. Move can be a single byte or a word. Okay. So move SB. Move SB means what? We are moving byte, string byte. Okay. And move SW. The second move string instruction is move SW. What is move SW? Move string word. Move string word. Okay. That means we can move a string byte or we can move a string word. We can move either a string byte or we can move either a string word. Okay. Right. So how a string byte is moved or how a string word is moved. Okay. So as I told you, the string byte, let us say CRR. Okay. Let us take the same example that we took previously. Okay. So this address, okay, this is the string that we have to move. This is the string that we have to move. Okay. So this string will have a source address, will be located somewhere. This string will be located somewhere in the memory. Somewhere in the memory. Okay. So the address of this particular string will be loaded in the SI register as we discussed. Okay. The address of this source string will be located in the SI register. And now we have to move this. We have to move this register to, sorry, we have to move this string to some other memory location. Some other memory location. Okay. So this address will be stored in DA register. DA register. Okay. So that is what here is located. Okay. So this is the effective address of the source operand. This is the effective address of the source operand. Okay. So which is having source index register, and this is the effective address of the destination operand, which is using destination index register. Destination index register, and this is indicating here the string that is present in the source index. This is the effective address now. Okay, MA means what? Effective address. Okay, so the string present in the effective address MA will be moved to the effective address of destination. Okay, this is the source address and this is the destination address. Okay, so source address lo ఉన్న string ni we are moving into the destination address. Okay, and as I told you, this operation depends upon the direction flag. If direction flag is equal to 0, we have auto increment operation. We have auto increment operation. That means DA register will be incremented by 1 and SI register will be incremented by 1. Okay. If direction flag is equal to 1, we'll have auto decrement operation. That means the destination index register will be decremented by 1 and the source index register will be decremented by 1. Okay. So this entire operation, this entire move string byte operation or move string word operation is decided by the value of the direction flag. Okay. Similarly, if it is a word, the only difference, okay, for string byte, this is the process. For string word, the same process will be taken place. The same process, calculating the source operand address, calculating the destination operand address, and moving the source string. Okay, source address string to the destination address string. Okay, but the only difference is the increment is done by 2. The increment is done by 2. Okay, because each and every memory location is just carrying a single byte, a single byte. Okay, that is the reason. Okay, so when you are using string byte, the incrementation operation is done by single value. Okay, when you are using the string word, the incrementation operation or the decrementation operation is done by the value 2. That is the only difference. Okay, hope the point is clear. All right, let us now move to the next category of instructions. Let me clear all these. And what is the next instruction in string manipulation instruction? The next instruction is CMPS. CMPS. What do you mean by CMPS? CMPS means what? Generally, we saw CMP in the arithmetic instruction. CMP means what? Compare. S means what? Compare string. Compare string here. Okay. So the same operation. Okay. So in comparison operation that was done in arithmetic instructions, the same operation will be done, but here in place of numbers, in place of numerics, we will have strings. We will have what? Strings. That means we will have another data type called character data type. Okay. So this comparison instruction can also be done in two different ways. One is string byte and another one is string word. That means we can do comparison of two string bytes, or we can compare two string words. Okay, the same thing, we just calculate the source address. We just calculate the source address by using this procedure. Okay, and that address will be stored in the source index register, and the effective address of the destination is also calculated in this process. Then in comparison operation of arithmetic instructions, we used what? Subtraction operation for comparison process. Okay, for comparison purpose, what we did, we used subtraction operation. Similarly, here also we use what? Subtraction operation of source operand and destination operand. Okay, the source operand is subtracted from the destination operand. Okay, so basing on the flagged values. Okay, we are not bothered about the subtraction result. Okay, only the flags affected values will be taken. That means the carry flag, zero flag, and sign flag. Carry flag, zero flag, and sign flag will be taken into consideration. Okay, so basing on the values of carry flag, zero flag, and sign flag, we'll decide which one is greater, which string is greater than the other string. Okay, whether the string is greater than, whether the destination string is greater than the source string, or lesser than the source string, or equal to the source string. Okay, so that kind of comparison is done based on these flag values, Okay, so you all could remember the comparison operation that was discussed in the arithmetic operation. The same thing will be done. Okay, so for byte operations, what we will do, we'll increment or decrement depending upon the direction flag value by one value. And for word operations, what we will do, we'll increment or decrement depending upon the direction of the status of the direction flag by two values. Okay, that is the only difference, right? That is about the comparison string instruction. Let us move on to the next instruction. The next instruction is scan string, SCAS, SCAS, okay? Okay, so SCAS means what? Scan string, okay? So that means we'll be scanning the string values. How we'll do that can be done in two ways: scan string byte, scan string word, scan string byte, or scan string word. Okay, so that is done in this process. Okay, the process is given here. Let us understand the process. The process is, see, first we'll calculate the effective address of the destination one. Okay, first we'll calculate the effective address of the destination thing. Then the values that is present in the values, see, the values that is present in the AL register will get subtracted from the string that is present in the destination address. Destination address. Okay. So if the destination address of the string is known, then what we will do, that particular string will be scanned, that particular string is scanned with the help of the AL register. That means we are using the source operand as the AL register. Here the source operand is by default the AL register. We are not using any separate source operand. Okay, so by any operation, from any operation, we will get a output that will be stored in the AL register, and that particular AL register will be compared with the string that is there in the destination address. Okay, so similar process as that of the comparison will be done here. Okay, so depending upon the carry flag, depending upon the carry flag, zero flag, and sign flag values, okay, we'll differentiate, we'll scan whether which is greater than and which is lesser. Okay, so that process will be done, and the remaining process will be same, the increment and decrement operation, increment and decrement operation. Okay, okay, so here for byte we used AL register. For word which is 16 bits, we use what? AX register. Here it is wrong, it is AX. Okay, AX, this is wrong here. Okay, so as it is string word, it will have 16 bits, it will have 16 bits. Okay, so as we are using 16 bits, we have to use AX register. Okay, the same process, and the incrementation or decrementation will be done by value. Okay, so that is the only difference here. When you are using comparison instruction, then you can use any of the source and any of the destination location, any source location or any destination location. But when you are using scan instruction, then by default you can treat the accumulator register as a source operand, as a source operand. That is the only difference, because most of the results of any operation, either arithmetic operation or logical operation or any operation, most of the results will be stored in the accumulator itself. Okay, always most of the results will be stored in the accumulator itself. So in order to not waste any other memory location, we'll directly compare that with the destination operand. So then we can directly use this SCCA. Okay, SCCA. That is the important. Next instruction is load. Okay, we are just loading the string. Okay, LOD means what? Load. Load string. Load string means what? We are loading the string from source to the accumulator. Okay, source to the accumulator. LODS means what? Load string. S means string, as we discussed in the first slide. Okay, so that can be done in two different ways: load string byte and load string word. Okay, so we have a string. We have a string in the source address. Okay, we have a string in the source address, and that string will be copied or moved into the AL register. AL register, as it is string byte, we are using AL register. AL register. Okay, and similarly we can use load string word. Okay, so here we use what? AX register. AX register. That means we will have a string at the source address, which is present in the source index register. That string will be copied or moved to the AX register. Okay, so these operations are common here. These operations are common. Okay, so for every string operation, these are common. That is why I told you in the beginning of the string instructions itself. Okay, so this you have to keep in mind when you are operating with string instructions. Then these operations will automatically occur. Okay, that you have to keep in mind. Okay, let us see the last instruction of this category. Store. STO means what? Store string. Store string. Okay, so in the previous one, what we did, we loaded the string from source address to the accumulator. From source address to the accumulator. That means we inputted, we took input. Okay, but now what we are doing, we got the output and we need to store that to a particular address. Okay, that we need to store to a particular address. Okay, so for that purpose, what we will do, we use store string instruction. Store string instruction. Okay, so we can store a string byte or we can store a string word. Okay, so as we are storing the value that was obtained to a, what you can say, to a destination address. Okay, that means we already have the value. That value is already there in the accumulator. That value which is there in the accumulator have to be stored to a destination address in order to access or for further proceedings. Okay, so in the previous one, what we did is we have a string, or we have a value in the source operand address. Okay, that we loaded into the accumulator for further proceedings. Now we have a value in the accumulator itself. That accumulator value has to be stored to the destination address. Okay, so understand the difference between load and store. Loading means what? We are loading the value into the accumulator. Store means what? We are storing the value of accumulator into some other address. Okay, hope the point is clear now, right? See, what we are doing, we are calculating the effective address of the destination operand using the destination index register. So that value which is present in the accumulator will be stored into the effective address of the destination address. Okay, destination operand, right? And this operation is same. It is incremented by 1 or decremented by 1 depending upon the direction flag value, okay, as it is a string byte. If it is string word, what happens? We use AX register. That means we calculate the effective address similarly, okay, and we load the value that is there in the, what you can say, accumulator register, okay, accumulator register into the effective address of the destination operand, okay. So this is incremented by value 2 or decremented by value 2 depending upon the direction flag value, okay, as it is in word, okay. So these are all the different string instructions that we have in the 8086 microprocessor, okay. These are the main instructions that 8086 supports, okay. So hope the instructions, string manipulation instructions are clear to you, okay. So if there are any doubts, now you can unmute yourself and ask regarding your doubts. Okay, I'll try to clarify.